All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome, SRES Networking Meetup Group. I'm so excited for today. We're going to learn something new today from Dee and Mickelin, our colleagues here in our group and in our work life. Um,
Um,
I know, I just got a total brain fart. Oh, because I
oh
saw
yeah.
Sandra's name. So Sandra and Dee and Mickelin are gonna tell us about the National Association of Brokers. National Association of they'll explain it to you.
Real
All
estate.
right, I'm gonna have yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and get started. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Dolores D. Johnston. I am a real estate broker, independent broker, been in the business since 2002. And I am a member of NAREB, National Association of Real Estate Brokers. That's where I met Mickelin. She was the regional director for the Bay Area. Um, how many of you have heard of NAREB?
I have.
Okay.
Roni,
Yeah,
Ray.
I have. I have a friend of mine in New York. We were talking about it about a year ago, so I am aware of it.
Okay. So if I can have access, I do have a PowerPoint.
Yeah, I've made you co-host.
Okie dokie. Let's see. Share. Here we go.
There we go.
All
I'm
right.
seeing it.
You okay. So NAREB, National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Who is NAREB? NAREB is the oldest trade association in the United States. They were founded in 1947 to support real estate professionals and expand fair housing opportunities. They are a strong advocate for Blacks and all minorities, advancing democracy in housing, removing barriers. Historical barriers excluded many Black professionals and families from equal housing opportunities. NAREB advocates for access and inclusion. NAREB was created because back in the 40s, Black folks could get a license to sell real estate, but they were not allowed to be a part of National Association of Realtors, nor. So since they were not allowed to call themselves Realtor, they came up with the plan to form their own association and they came up with the term Realtist. Realtist is also on our state exams. I know it was on my exam. The purpose of National Association of Real Estate Brokers is to enhance the professional and business conditions of NAREB Realtist members by strengthening the consumer capacity of Black, minority, and emerging target market segments that realtors serve, utilizing economic, political, legal, and social leverage. We are working to remediate oh gosh, disparate and discriminatory housing and property ownership policies and practice prevailing in the United States. Democracy and housing is the foundation. Since 1947, NAREB has been at the forefront of advocating for democracy in housing, tackling critical issues such as combating housing discrimination, promoting fair lending practices, addressing gentrification, and supporting urban renewal. We believe in fighting for fair and equal access to housing for all individuals while ensuring equitable lending opportunities for marginalized communities. By advocating for policies that protect existing residents and foster inclusive growth, we strive to encourage sustainable development that benefits all community members. A NAREB member is called a realtist and represents all professional disciplines within the real estate industry. Realtors promote the highest standard of professional integrity and follow a strict code of real estate industry ethics. We have a special charge to make certain that communities of color are treated with dignity and respect. There are over 100 local boards that have been chartered in over 37 states. Some cities and states include Oakland, Vallejo, Sacramento, Stockton, San Francisco, several in Los Angeles. Fresno, Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, Oregon, Hawaii, Washington, Alabama, Texas, Florida, Delaware, Arkansas, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, South and North Carolina, Oklahoma, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kansas, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Ohio, Connecticut, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania.
No
There are
San Jose?
San Jose used to have a chapter, but I don't think they have a chapter anymore because
Hmm.
the president is no longer around. And so I don't think Mickelin wants to be president. So
Well,
they
we should
haven't
have a vote here now.
they haven't had a chapter in a long time.
Hmm.
There are five pillars in NARAB. The first pillar is faith-based and community engagement. Religious organizations in their respective community. At large percentage of professional Black Americans belong to a civic or professional organization. Therefore, NARAB's relationship with faith-based and civic institutions allow the association to target Black American consumers nationwide. To number one, educate our audience about homeownership, and number two, inspire them to purchase real estate. NARAB's strategic and memorandum of understanding relationships will be nurtured under this pillar. The second pillar is WIRE, women investing in real estate. Women carry many roles, responsibilities, and expectations, yet too often they walk their journey feeling isolated, undersupported, or unsure where to find trusted guidance. WIRE was created to change that. WIRE matters because women deserve spaces where they feel seen, heard, and understood. Spaces where they can show up as their full selves, share real experiences, and connect with others who truly understand the balance of life, wealth, leadership, and legacy. The third pillar is small business. The majority of NARAB members are small businesses that qualify for the most diversity and inclusion initiatives. We focus attention on educating and informing NAREB members about the income generation possibilities available through minority certifications and minority procurement opportunities. This initiative also focuses on strengthening leadership skills, business development, and mentorship. The fourth pillar is multi-generational wealth. NAREB has developed age and lifestyle specific initiatives to reach and inform audiences about wealth building and home ownership. NARAB initiatives include number one, the NARAB Youth Leadership Academy. Number two, the NARAB Millennial Movement, focused on Gen Z and Millennium consumers. And number three, efforts to inform senior citizens on key elements to prepare for and keep legacy wealth. And the fifth pillar is government relations. NARAB always uses powerful voice to support of legislation or regulatory change designed to increase Black homeownership. Through our State of Housing in Black America, which is our SHEBA report and our monthly SHEBA Bites, NARAB continues to educate, inform, and share with our members, elected and appointed officials, our community and its organizations on the homeownership needs of Black Americans and its importance to build wealth, as well as strengthening our communities. NARAB has other divisions, such as the NARAB Developers Academy. Now, this started a couple of years ago. So last year at the annual conference, they graduated over 100 new developers from this academy. And this year, I understand they will be graduating another class, which is bigger than the first class of developers. The other division is NASRIA, National Society of Real Estate Appraisers. RIMB is the Real Estate Management Brokers for Property Management. YRD is the Young Realtors Division. They also have a Children and Youth Division. They have a Women's Council, which I've been president of our local Women's Council here in Oakland. They have a NID, National Investment Division. NID is a HUD housing counseling agency in Oakland. founded by Ray Carlisle, who also lives in Oakland, in 1985. The Sheba Report is the state of housing in Black America. This report is very comprehensive. It provides a detailed view of the real numbers and facts that impact and impede Black families from realizing the dream of home ownership. NARAP is committed to changing the statistics through our members and industry relationships. Our goal is to continue to show Black families the issues that affect them and to bring solutions to overcome these barriers. The first Sheba report was published in 2013. Since that time, NARAP has moved beyond the data to provide solutions. The Sheba reports comes out annually. Our annual events include every February is our midwinter, where we come from all over the United States to some part of the state. It could be Alabama, Texas, or wherever. But we have education classes, we have legislation, prayer breakfast, networking, local chapter board training, and a lot of fun. July is our annual conference. Basically, it's the same setup. November is the Congressional Black Caucus. This year in February, our midwinter was held in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We went to Black Wall Street, which in neighborhood, a community called Greenwood. It was a Black community that was prosperous with their own hotels, theaters, funeral homes, Black libraries, restaurants, landowners, doctors, lawyers, and other businesses. Blacks did business with one another. Then in 1921, an uproar broke out with the white folks burning down the community and killing several Black folks. So when we went back, it was Black History Month. So this was a big deal for our people. It was very exciting and very informative. Mickelin asked me if I had any photos, but I really don't have any photos. But I should have taken photos, but I forget about taking out my phone. Anyway, that was an exciting time. Some of the benefits for NARAP is business connections, policy alerts, professional development, networking events, legislative updates, education and training, mentorship programs, networking opportunities, webinars and workshops, business development resources, community engagements, initiatives, recognition programs, and exclusive listings. And also, they did include lead generation. So they did a new website where now people can get leads from one another. And they are on all the social medias: LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. There is a video I would like to share with you guys. Let me see. Give me 1 minute. Are there any questions while I pull up this video? Hmm. Can you see?
Yeah. We don't hear anything though.
You need to hit share sound.
Oh, where is share sound?
Go back to the page where the video was, and in the lower right there'll be some icons, and share sound will be one of them.
Oh, so share, I see share at the bottom of the video, right?
Well, that's sharing the screen, but when you get the video up before it runs, you should see a share sound in the bottom right.
Hmm. Okay.
Can you bring the video up?
Uh-huh.
Going back to 1947,
Okay.
There you go.
You hear it now?
We got,
47.
yeah, but now we don't see it.
NARAD was
Oh,
founded
okay.
because African,
Oh,
All together now.
I know, right?
going back to 1947, NARAD was founded because African Americans could not be members of NAR
Now you
There
see
you
it?
go.
at that time.
No,
So there were a number of local
You see
real
it?
estate,
Yeah.
American Real
Okay.
Estate Trade Associations around the country who decided to come together and form a national organization. We would be accused of blockbustering. You see, and introducing, I know we had a case in Atlanta where we were charged with introducing some disruptive kind of residents in white areas when we would sell a black person a house in a white neighborhood.
When they opened it up, the women could go in and sell. Most of the men could not. They did have a problem with black men. I think they were still kind of frightened.
To join together Black real estate professionals and to fight for the rights of African American homeowners, 12 people founded the National Association of Real Estate Brokers in Tampa, Florida, July 1947. The NAREB developed out of the National Negro Business League, whose founder was educator Booker T. Washington. W.D. Morrison of Detroit was NAREB's first president. The group called itself NAREB and its members Realists, and established its motto in the 1950s, democracy in housing.
It was created because the realtors were calling themselves realtors. No, we couldn't call ourselves, but see, the realtors is a trademark. It's patented. We thought realtist was the most appropriate term.
There is nothing better than coming with your brothers and your sisters and sharing in education, sharing ideas, and knowing that you are considered the cream of the crop of minority real estate professionals.
NAREB president from 2007 to 2009, Maria Kong, joins a long line of past presidents who have built on the accomplishments of great leaders before them. Presidents like George Harris, 1953, the only president to serve 3 terms. Q.V. Williamson, 1963, who established NAREB's headquarters in Washington, D.C., a first for any trade association. Albert Johnson, 1987, who with Presidents Williamson and William Hamilton founded NAREB affiliate RIMBY, the Real Estate Management Brokers Institute. President Tom Holmes, 1985, opened brand new doors for NAREB in the nation's capital. And Evelyn Reeves, in 1989, became NAREB's first woman president.
It's really a family, and it's a family of opportunity. It's a family of education. It'll open your eyes to anything you want to do. NAREB really let me do, I could do and be the best of whatever I wanted to do. That's really what it was.
Because you are the key. Not only are you out there interacting and making these homeownership possibilities happen, and I know what your goals are.
Gaining access to power, NAREB led the fight for fair housing in America and would change the race game forever for Black homeowners and real estate professionals. NAREB, more than any other group, pushed for the Fair Housing Act of 1968. The groundbreaking legislation did away with legal barriers to Blacks moving into white neighborhoods, and the law made it illegal to discriminate against Black real estate professionals. NAREB's Atlanta board, the Empire Board of Realtors, won a landmark lawsuit filed in the 1980s that went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. The ruling made it illegal for the Multiple Listing Service, or MLS, to require agents be a member of the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, to use the MLS advertising service. Realtors and any other qualified agent were now able to join.
Each time it seems that we eradicate one issue, another one, pops up. And so we continue to have to be advocates for our people and for these communities. And of course, it goes beyond just advocating for our people, because generally, when we are successful in knocking down many of these barriers that exist, everybody benefits from it.
NAREB leaders work with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, as NAREB formed its own affiliates, among them the National Society of Real Estate Appraisers, the Real Estate Management Brokers Institute, and the National Investment Division. NAREB's relationship with HUD secured contracts for Black appraisers, property managers, and counselors. Through its affiliates, NAREB for years has trained realtors in these professions. And through its decades-old University of Real Estate, NAREB keeps them certified and up to date.
So we have fought for democracy in housing throughout the years in all aspects of housing, not only just residences, but we want to participate in the marketing, the sale, the construction, the financing, and even government service that relate to housing.
NAREB worked with the housing agencies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to get realtors certified to sell REOs or bank-owned properties for the first time. And NAREB partnered with lending institutions like Chase Home Loans and many others over the years to open doors for realtors and homeowners.
As we face the housing challenges of today, we must also take a step back and reflect on the milestones that have been achieved. NAREB, the nation's oldest trade association, has played an important leadership role in driving and helping to shape fair housing standards for the mortgage industry. They have also been a strong advocate on behalf of the African American community on issues that affect them and realtors.
A virtual collapse of the housing market in the late 2000s demonstrated the relevance of NAREB today in the 21st century. Well before it was mainstream news, NAREB spoke out against predatory lending, foresaw the housing crisis. The National Association of Real Estate Brokers' #1 goal remains democracy in housing. For NAREB, that means removing the barriers for African Americans to reach the dream of home ownership and making sure there are opportunities for Black real estate professionals to soar as high as their ambitions.
So we have impacted the whole country in helping those who are disenfranchised, who are hurting. We have become counselors. We have held their hands. You know, we have become almost everything to the people in our communities today. And that's what we do. That's what we have done for years.
That's. Are there any questions? Mickelin, you want to?
There were several things that I had seen, and I wanted to point out. And going back to your question, how many people have even heard or knew of NAREB, let alone the designation of realtist? And the organization is what, 79 years old?
Yeah, be 80 next year.
Yeah, yeah. And it's really frightening, actually, with all the things that African Americans have contributed to this industry. And some of them, and I won't belabor your presentation, but some of the things I want to pull out that were in the video. The REO industry, everybody knows about the crash. NAREB got a fair share of those properties. And many times, especially along that, and I remember Los Angeles area because a lot of white brokers came into the Black areas to try to take over those REOs. Maxine Waters, Evelyn Reeds had a lot to do with those folks getting their proper share of representation in that market because some of these brokers, they lived in Beverly Hills. They had no business in those communities when there were a lot of very capable African Americans in there. And that just goes to show you the injustice that we're constantly fighting for. I got my fair share up here in the Bay Area because I was a member of NAREB. And, it served me well. I was there 7, 8 years. And there was another one that I wanted to bring up about, I love the fact that Maxine, they call her Raging Waters. Everybody's probably familiar with her. She and Evelyn are very good friends. And she has done a lot. In fact, they showed one video of how somebody of her stature had called in behalf of one of her constituents. She was on the phone for hours, transferred from one department to another department to another department over trying to help somebody get some assistance. That's how bad it was back then. and in many cases still is. Case in point, everybody knows who Tyler Perry is. That studio that you've seen his movies filmed from, that was a Confederate Army base. And the gentleman that had owned it, a white gentleman who had owned it, when he found out Tyler Perry, oh, not only that one, he had another property. He said, well, we have redlining, which means he cannot own that property. Went to court. Of course, redline is illegal. Obviously, he won.
And
I mean,
what year was that?
gosh, that was fairly recent
Mhm.
because he's a young man himself.
Yeah,
But
because I mean, talking about redlining in this current
hey,
time
it still
frame
exists.
doesn't seem to be,
It exists, Julie. Believe me, it exists.
well,
It's not
legally.
supposed, it's not supposed to be, but it exists. And you've seen, or I have seen certainly, appraisal values coming below value
Oh,
if
yes. Oh,
owned by an African American.
yeah.
Well, we could have a whole entire meeting just about that particular subject because you are right. Stuff still does occur currently. And so what I'm understanding is that this is a NARAB, and the California one is a really good resource for us to learn and know and to be able to rely on.
One of the things that NAREB doesn't have, and I talked to Donnell Spivey when he was the national president in 2015, and I said, why is there not a senior division? It was close to the time I had got my SRES. He said, why don't you start it? Of course, when you open your mouth, you're started, right?
There
I
you
had,
go.
hey, I had too much on my plate at the time. So but that's
Well,
one failing I think NAREB has because a lot of those people who were there back in the day when I was there, they're gone. They either passed away, retired, or whatever. They still come to the convention, and whatever. I haven't been to one since 2021, and I got called with COVID, so I got cold feet, and that was in Tampa, Florida. But I still stay in touch with Dolores. I want to bring the awareness of this wonderful organization and what it does for people of color. Roni is in New York. There is a very, very outgoing, and I don't know if he knows her name is Janae Mallory. And
No,
she
I do
was,
not.
okay, she was the local board president in New York.
You know
And
which branch? You know
ooh,
which chapter?
Bedford-Stuyvesant, she talked a lot about Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn. She's all over the place. Janae
Yeah.
Mallory. She's quite a character.
Okay.
And then I love what Dolores was talking about, Wire. Now, see, that's something new for me. And that is the women, I forget now what you called it, Dolores. It was women
Women,
something.
women in real estate investing.
Okay. There is something that I just heard this morning, and that was from one of my clients. She has the biggest African American museum in the Bay Area. Her name is, let me get it. Um, she names it after her grandson, Dominic Hoskins Museum. First name is Carolyn. I forget her Hoskins. Her last name is Hoskins, Carolyn Hoskins. And her husband was a 49er. And he passed away. But she took some of the proceeds from his earnings and whatnot and built this museum. She used to go from she was always around either Palo Alto or Redwood City, but it was always, she had to, around Black History Month, February, she would always close about the first week of March. And this went on for years. Finally, and I think that was back in 23 or 24, she got this huge grant and she's right there on Madison in Redwood City. Now
Okay,
it's,
so yeah, so Redwood City.
yes, yes, now it's open just about every day and she does tours. It is amazing place to get your Black history. Amazing. And she does tours and whatnot. She's wonderful. She's the one that told me today that they're doing something around Michelle Obama about the same issue, women not being recognized, the glass ceiling, how far can we go? And we have to break those barriers. So she said she was going to send me the article. I thought she meant Michelle is going to be here. Of course, I'm going to be the first one at the door. But it's something using her, and I understand she has a production company, her and Barack, but they're using her name and her image in order to encourage women. They're reaching out to 100 African American women in order to support this initiative and be recognized and seen in our communities. Doesn't have to be real estate, but be recognized and seen in our communities. So I wanted to pass that on. It's a side note.
So Dee, that brings up a good point. So so you're up in Oakland, next in Berkeley, right?
Yeah.
So you guys, do you have an active group up
Oh yeah.
there?
Oh yeah. Oakland has a local chapter. I've served on the board. I could have been president because I had moved up the ladder, but I didn't want to be president. But yeah, they have a
Hmm.
strong local board right here in Oakland. It's called Associated Real Property Brokers, and our acronym is ARPB. And then under
And then
that, we have the Women's Council, which is up under them, and we have the Young Realtors Division, all here in Oakland and the Bay Area.
do they collaborate with the local realtor associations?
Oh yeah.
And
They
then
just
we don't have anybody around here, like
they,
in
they just had
Silicon
an
Valley.
event.
What's up with that, Mickelin? Hello.
They actually just had an event a few months this year. I think it was March, where they came together with the Latino group uh and the Asian group,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
and it was
Aria
really,
and
yeah. hmm
Nora is one.
Nora.
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 Yeah.
Nora and Aria.
Yeah. So ARPB, the Oakland group, got together with them and they had a event where they all three came together and had a panelist and everything. It was a really nice event. So they want to do more of that.
I think that's a great idea. And that's kind of what I was thinking because I know, I mean, we've got stuff going on. It's just a little dormant right now around here. That's
Membership
what
is
I'm
open too, by
gathering.
the way.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is open to all groups. So you don't have to be African
Yeah.
American. Is
Yeah.
open to everyone.
Yeah, collaborative, like for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our third vice president, she's a white lady of ARPB. Y'all
Maureen?
know Maureen. Maureen.
Oh well.
Maureen. Maureen is our third vice president. I think
Well,
it's her fourth year. Yeah. So we are open to everybody.
Going back
um,
to Black Wall Street, I wish we could have seen a little bit of that. And some people, and I saw it on Facebook, think that it's dead, it's gone. It's not.
It's
It's
not.
being revived. In fact, they had their 100th celebration of what a celebration of Black Wall Street in 2021. So it was destroyed in 1921. And there were three, I don't know if they're still living, they were in their 100s who testified before the legislature about what had happened. Some of those people lost all their wealth. And I mean all of their wealth. These people were very accomplished. And if you know anything about Tulsa, they have a lot of oil wells. A lot of them gained their wealth. My uncle lived there, and I can remember seeing the oil wells from his porch. But that's where they gained their wealth independent, even though some of them will cross the tracks and were maids and busboys and stuff like that in hotels and white homes and such as that. But at the same time, there were doctors, lawyers, hairdressers, barbers, theaters, hospitals. They had their own community. I've heard it was 35, then I heard it was 40 square blocks of nothing
Yeah.
but African Americans. And they were looking for an excuse to burn it down. And yes, they found one. An innocent African American male was accused of attacking this white woman. And that's all she wrote.
In
It
and
the
was
what
merciless. It was
in,
was
merciless.
that the 1921
It was
event?
1921, the Black Massacre. And there have
So
been,
in 20, so in the current century, we don't have anything like that going on.
we don't have massacres, maybe by another name.
yeah.
Maybe by another name.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm asking. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. If African Americans are not given the same opportunity because of the color of their skin, it is a massacre of sorts because you're judged by what you look at. In fact, at the end of one of Dolores's slides, I don't think you showed that. It was a quote by Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was one of the speakers that was before my time, in 1968 convention. Do you have that slide, Dolores?
I don't think it was a slide. I think it was the picture that I
It was
took
a picture. It was a picture.
when I was in
I love the
Oklahoma.
quote. And he talks directly about housing
That's at their museum at the
at the Greenwood.
Greenwood Museum. So let
Hmm.
me see if I can find the picture because I did send it to you. Um,
You know what would be interesting to compare and contrast with this history and all of this valuable content and information. So, the housing bill did go through. It's gone through Congress now. So we do have a new housing bill, which I have yet to, I want to review it. But is anybody, there's a lot of good stuff in there. I think I'll see about getting an a link to it or something for the
Heard about
bulletin.
that. Yeah,
The
I'd
new
love to hear
housing
that.
Yeah,
bill that we have in place now.
Right.
I don't think did Trump finally sign that bill? I know
No.
there were some
Well,
parts
Went
of it
they're
that
went
they're
through
would
having,
without
become
yeah,
signing.
law whether he signed it or not, but
yeah,
not all of it.
they're having an impasse on that, but it can still take effect. It
It
still
has.
has taken effect because
Yeah,
Congress
some
allowed
parts
it
of
to
it,
do that.
but not the whole.
Is my understanding.
I
Yeah.
Was that
I
the
think the
quote,
whole thing
Mickelin?
went through.
Yeah, I think, the whole thing went through.
Because he just left it on his desk, and so
Yeah,
it goes through.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
Did you find what you were looking for?
That was
Did it
one.
come on the screen?
There was
Oh, that
another,
was one. There was another one.
there was another one because that one was James Baldwin. You could read that one too. That was great.
Oh, it said, um, not not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced.
Yeah,
James
I
Baldwin.
love it.
Yes. I
Hmm.
thought there was another one.
It is. Hold on. Hold on. Be strong. Oh, let me see. Let's see. Greenwood. Oh no, that just said that was just the
Greenwood Rising. I don't know where I saw it, but it was a quote by Martin Luther King. He said that, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, no one should be living, everybody deserves a home, a decent home. Black people deserve a decent place to live. And without a home, you have no freedom. And I love that. I love that. No place to hide, put your head at night, no place to raise your children. I love that quote, and I'm going to find out where it was that I was looking at that. But going to what you had said, Julie, about bringing things together and coming to fruition, during and I do believe it was during Bill Clinton's administration, Sheila Jackson Lee, who's also departed, introduced HB 40, which is the reparations all over the cities. In fact, Santa Clara County was the first one to recognize Juneteenth as a holiday, a paid holiday. And it's going around all over the country. That should be recognized as a day of service, recognizing the contributions of African Americans. But the Senate bill and going back that it was introduced by, and I'm sure I'd love to know where it's at now since she's deceased, but Senate Bill HR 440 is something she introduced along with, I think it was John Lewis and maybe some others. But I remember her specifically because she spoke at it at one of the convention. I think we were in Florida. And it talked about reparations and forming a committee in terms of how it would be studied, how it would be financed, and what would be the terms and what would be included. If they get these kids, young people, who can't buy a house because they have student loans, I would jump for joy. I would jump for joy because you can see this guy, his name was Michael Johnson, who gave all his these graduates and some of the one of the HBCUs. He paid all of their debt, and that was a surprise. Everybody was jumping up and down. So if something of that can be done, and going back to our recent celebration, and I'm going to bring this up, July the 4th, July the 4th, our Liberation Day, right? And we're still talking about things of the past. So equal under the law was equal for some and not for others. So African Americans don't have as much to celebrate as those that don't look like us. So that is a great place to start right there and bringing forth what that means. Liberation for all people. All people have a right to life of liberty and this pursuit of happiness and, and owning a home. Like it's what we do. I rest.
All right, let's circle back. Let's circle back to the business of real estate.
Oh,
Because
that.
because all of this is super, super uh it's just a really good resource for us to know, knowledge base, especially when we're working with our families, our clients in our different markets. Because first of all, I mean, the Bay Area, well, and just about everywhere now, is so diverse, multicultural, and basically um, we all are the same. So
Comment.
Go ahead.
Another place to start, and it just dawned on me about the history that is not recorded. I can go back to maybe 1853 in my history. And I was always so envious of those people say, oh, I came from the Netherlands and I came from this and that. So much of our history has not been recorded. And it's through word of mouth, oral history that we know and stuff written in the Bible and stuff like that. The first census was in 1870 where we were given a name and who owned us and da 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 and this and that. So that is the first that I know of because I went to back to try to research my history and as far as I could go. It was 1853 and I went to the Geological Society. I went to where my parents were born and raised, both of them in Emporia, Kansas and stuff like that. And things that others had told me throughout the years, but it's not in any book. So we share some of the same history African Americans do, but at the same time, when you look at Henry Gates, who's a huge historian, anthropologist, he knows all this stuff. He does a lot of this DNA, and he was on TV just the other day about all this stuff. But when people can, and this thing about people, they don't understand what woke is, being woke and that's something that's bad. And when people understand terminology and Black history, American history is Black history. The Capitol, the White House was built by slaves. How many people know that? So it's just so a disparity in what is in our books, and people afraid of telling the world, yes, we were disenfranchised. We were hung for no reason. Jim Crow laws, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's a whole course that I would like to see done, especially with our young African American kids, so they don't have to be afraid or ashamed of their history because it's a rich, rich history.
Yeah.
Mickelin, I just wanted to say, as far as riches too, is if you, I was watching this documentary, and a lot of people say try to kind of educate, teach, coach the Black community to understand how Black they are when they have other heritage in them and they are entitled to monies and properties, and they don't. They're so taught that like that I don't have any entitlement to that because of their heritage. And if they kind of did a little bit more digging, then people could find like, oh, there's some Indian heritage and there's all this other heritage that people are entitled to in our country that they don't do that further digging into their heritage.
And it should be addressed. It really should. And Americans will never be free unless it is done with honesty and not no cover-ups, no lying. Just put it out there. People can take it or leave it. But
So
it
I'd be interested to know that NAREB and the California, the local, I mean, are they currently their current activities aligned with collaborating with all of our real estate associations, all of our groups that, we do stuff together? And Dee mentioned, in one of her slides that lead generation and that they do actively market and create calls to actions for their audiences, to engage with them. And then they, in turn, provide that lead generation for their members. Is that, you mentioned that, is that something that they just do regularly, or do they want to expand on that? Do they want to collaborate on that?
Well, it's something that they starting with the lead generation. They redone the whole website, so they had each member who wanted to put their, profile up and what they wanted to say about themselves. And anyway, I don't know how it's really going to work, but they just did this within the last 5 to 6 weeks.
Oh, so brand new. I mean, it just sounds like such a great opportunity for to accelerate their presence, their education, their platform. We can tell more agents about it. We can share the information and create more collaboration, and that just
It-
helps us all together, right?
It's like each president, to me, what I've noticed, each president that comes on board, they seem to pick up a idea and run with it. So this president is out of Los Angeles, Ashley Thomas, and that was his thing with the leads. So he was on Zoom about 5 to 6 weeks ago talking about it. And as soon as I got off the Zoom, I went on and did what he said do. But and then I noticed the president before, she was the one who started the Developers Academy. And the one before, she was the one that started the Wire. So it seemed like each one brings something to the table to keep going.
I love that. And I'm just seeing, I'm connecting. Okay. So between Aria and Nora and Narab and all of the things, we could just be doing stuff. Okay. That's all I'm saying. And that would just benefit the consumers and the home and homeowners and consumers to become homeowners.
That's my push.
Right?
Homeowners, yes, yes, yes. And one of the ways that they can do it is through this reparations. And like I said, if they would help these youngsters get rid of these student loans, I remember when Biden was talking about the $10,000. I don't know how much that would help.
Okay, Mickelin, I'm gonna stop you right there because that's kind of a left turn. I'm sorry.
No,
But that is a whole subject that we really could spend a whole hour on
yes,
for sure.
but me
Lindlin, you
too.
had a question?
Yes, hi Dee. Thank you for your presentation. Sorry, I jumped in a little later, but it looks like from one of the overviews, you said that NARAB was created because African Americans were excluded from the National Association of Realtors. I'm sure they are, included now. So is it either or can people join NARAB instead of NAR, or do they need to join both? Or
I
I
think
mean, I
you
guess.
have to join both. I think you have to join both now.
Oh, okay, okay,
So
yeah,
I'm a
because
realtor
not.
and I'm a realtist.
Oh, okay, because NAR is required, so that's a real
Hmm.
tour. And then you said you are also a real.
A realtist because I'm a part
I
of,
know, but in
yeah.
the video or somewhere it said there was a lawsuit about not having to be in NAR. If you were a realtist, you could be
So
going
that
to MLS if
MLS.
you're a
Mhm.
realtist.
Yeah. But things have changed since then. So yeah, now you have to be NAR and
Oh,
realtist.
okay, okay.
Interesting.
Hmm.
So then that
And I'm
was
sure the
my.
same thing is with NARIA and yeah, I'm sure it's the same for
Yeah,
with
with
all the
So
trade associations. Yeah.
Nora and Aria. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had another question about one of the five pillars, or I guess it's faith-based and community engagement. So,
Hmm.
meaning that are you going into churches as part of your outreach? Okay, I just
Yes.
wanted to,
Yes.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know with our church they try to have a division with, business and personal. But I mean, I think that it's wonderful because it is educational, right? Everybody needs
Right.
like housing. So,
Right.
yeah, so I think that's great. But are you finding that the faith-based organizations are very open to, what you're offering to,
They
okay,
are very open.
okay,
Hmm.
okay, that's great.
Very open.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
they,
they have the members and they know they want their members to be housed. So
of
not just housed,
course.
but they want them to be homeowners. So yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah, that's wonderful. Well, thank you for the work and then your office is based where?
Out of my home.
Oh, okay. Like everybody else. Okay. And where are you at though? Where are
I'm
you?
in Oakland.
Oh, okay, in Oakland.
Mhm.
Okay, great. But the office, is there a NARAB office in Oakland?
The NARAP office is in Baltimore, which they got the office because of the president at the time was from Oakland, Ernest Clark. He said, you know, we're selling real estate. This was before my time, but I talked to him one-on-one all the time. And he said, we're selling real estate. Why are we renting? We got to get our own building. So when he was president of NARAB, he made sure they bought a building. And that building is in uh, Maryland.
Oh, in Maryland. Okay,
Mhm.
Baltimore. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Since you mentioned Ernest, remember, I don't know if you were around at that time either, when he founded the Citibank $500 down program.
No, but he told me about it.
Yeah, that was
I miss
something.
him. I really do miss him.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Some of the old guys are gone, and that's when I was around. So yeah, I miss them. But they've left a living legacy, and that film is great. Dee, thank you for sharing that.
A living legacy, yes. Well, I have a dentist appointment at 1 o'clock, so I don't mean to rush you guys, but I
I
got to
was,
go to Alameda.
yeah, I
Dee.
was just about to say thank you all. I've got to leave too. And I put a link in the chat regarding the housing bill,
Oh, thank you.
talking about it.
Perfect.
So it's there.
Yeah.
Okay. And are we still, and did the link go out for the AI presentation at 1:30?
Yeah, it's all in the same, it's all in the bulletin email.
I just could not. I'll call you because I couldn't figure out what's what there. Okay.
What a
All right. So I'll
surprise.
see you guys at 1:30, huh?
Yeah.
That's Skip.
That bulletin, I swear.
TM for it's too much for Skip.
Yeah, I clicked on what I thought was a link, but it just went to his picture, so to the flyer. So I don't know.
Sandra, I'm looking for your link.
My link?
Yeah, you said for the bill, that bill.
Yeah, for the bill. Yeah, it's in the chat. It's in blue. I say here's a link to the 21st Century Road to Housing Act.
Oh, I see. It's at the bottom. Yeah. Oh, good, good. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay. I will see you guys. I hope at 1:30. I'm
Thank
going
you,
back still
Dee.
trying to find that link.
That
Okay.
was awesome. That
You're
was
so
awesome.
welcome. I know you can
Thank
hear
you
Excellent.
my
all.
nervousness.
Have fun at the dentist.
No, it was great. It was great.
And back to your question real quickly,
Dentist
Julie,
is
about
never
why don't we
fun,
about
Lin.
us having a NARAB group here in San Jose. We did at one point for years. We were very active. In
Mhm.
fact, Mickelin was the president, and I guess there's just not enough of us here that, at least currently, but that are, anyway, it
It was
kind of,
also in San Francisco. In fact, they had a lot of leadership in Oakland, and
yeah,
San.
but I'm giving props to you and what we did here in San Jose.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
Okay. So yeah, we were very active at one point.
San Francisco and Oakland were the bigger numbers in terms of African Americans. And Janet Halliburton was at one time, uh, she was president of the local board of the big board of the Alameda board, whatever that is. Her and remember Janet and LJ?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Janet. Uh-huh.
Like my
She
fiance would
called me
say, just say
yesterday.
thank you. I was giving
Okay.
you props. All right, gotta go.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Janet.
Dee.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Thank you,
Dee.
guys.
Have
Thank you.
fun at the dentist.
Lin. I hate going to the dentist. Whew.
That's why
All right.
my son became an orthodontist instead.
Oh, cool, cool.
Yeah.
All right, you
Yeah.
guys. See
Thank
you
you.
next
Nice
time.
knowing you.
Thank
Bye.
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Next week,
Can you see my screen, people?
Yeah.
mm,
Okay. Here's the email.
mm,
Here's the bulletin. There's the Zoom links. See where it says market makers?
Mm-hmm.
SRES. That's where they are. So this is what we're doing this afternoon. We're talking about, it's going to be ultimately for lead gen, which is what we all need to do. So building your database, AI-driven data set marketing. So I'm actually pretty excited about that because Robert Cruz is really well versed at this kind of data and then how we can implement it to do sphere marketing and farming. So, and he's learning from us too. This is his opportunity, the seniors real estate business. And then combining the both of regular real estate business and regular data mining for real estate marketing. And then our business as seniors real estate specialists and the business of seniors real estate, which we all know is the biggest demographic of all real estate transactions, and that we're multi-generational.
Wait, is Robert Cruz at your brokerage now? Or where's
No, he's got his own brokerage.
Yeah, I
His
know. I'm
living.
working
Yeah.
with him on two different clients, and one of
Yeah.
them, actually, one of them are senior. So
Yeah, you know, I mean, because you know Robert, I know Robert. Well,
well, he was real. I mean,
I
long
know.
story, he was
Yeah.
with us, and then his wife's still with us, but then he went out.
Yeah.
So, when is he doing this today?
This afternoon, market makers.
What? Oh, am I not included in that? Or
Yes, you are. And
Oh,
yes, I sent out the emails.
Sorry. The information packed email.
All of it,
Okay.
all of the
Okay.
above, Lin.
Okay, all right. I will look at your email and a quote.
You should have gotten, you know, this in the mail, and yeah, it's all
okay.
in the mail.
Okay, there's a link.
Couple of times.
Okay. Well, it says Zoom link follows the bulletin below.
Well, and then for market makers, I reminded everybody because market makers is a once a month thing. So, yeah, you'll see it when you get to it.
When I scroll down, okay, huh?
And yeah,
I'm not seeing where the market is. It inside the bullet? Did you just show that?
In the bulletin on page 3.
On page 3. Okay, I'm sorry.
Roll to the bottom.
I'll be good one of these days.
Page. You know, this bulletin, it reads like a comic book.
Okay.
It is a comic book.
Exactly.
Oh, but it doesn't say the time. It just says market makers. But the QR code.
Where it says the time right here?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, thank you.
With an arrow?
Okay. All right. I will try to jump in. The matrix searches during that time, but we'll do that.
Julie, I didn't know that
forget
you
about
were-
Matrix. We can always go back to them. I got Robert for today. That was enough of a coup right there. A coup.
And the link or the Zoom link in
the Zoom link is there. Yeah. It's on the email.
Oh, it's on the email. Okay, thank you.
I didn't know you printed it hard copy, Julie. Yeah.
Well, you know, because we're here at the office and you can
Pick it up, huh?
yeah. I attach it on the email too because on the attachment, the hyperlinks are on the PDF. I can't do the hyperlinks in the email, so I put the PDF on the email so that the hyperlinks are active.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to Watermark on the tour?
Say that again, Mickelin.
Are we going to the Watermark on a tour? Is that the one in SoCal?
Are you referring to something?
Housing tour. Remember we were going to one a month.
Oh, I haven't scheduled one for this month. A tour yet. I'm working on a tour for August.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have the date and the time so we can save it in our calendars?
For August?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Okay, yeah. Well,
but I will tell you.
Keep them guessing.
This would be we're going to go to, and you can all give me your feedback. What do you think? Because I'm thinking we're going to go to Discovery Bay and Brentwood next. Because there's,
are you getting not a bus, but yeah, a bus?
yeah, probably. I mean, if I have enough people, and
Well, it depends on the date.
I know, right? Well, it'll be the last week of the month, but it being close to Labor Day, um, I just haven't hardened it up on the calendar yet. I'm trying to get through today. Get through today.
Let me know if you need any help, Julie. Like to send.
I will. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I just
okay. So Discovery Bay and Brentwood. Discovery Bay and Brentwood has 55 and over new construction communities, and they also have 55 and over resales in the communities that are young houses, but they're resales.
Mm-hmm.
So just like Hollister and just like Lathrop and just like Tracy, it's a really good opportunity. There's even actually a development now, and some are family developments and some are 55 and over, and they are on the water in Discovery Bay. So you can choose from homes that are not on the water, and at a really good price point, you can choose homes that are on the water at a higher premium lot price point. Either way, all of the homes for this product are affordable for people that are wanting to sell and get out and get out of here and go somewhere that they can still get back to here if they want to hang out with their adult children. I don't know. You know what I mean.
Well, I do have kind of like a feedback type thing because, when I brought my own family to Trilogy as well as is it San Juan Oaks?
San Juan Oaks,
San Juan Oaks, which by the way, I personally loved. They just thought it was like, while it was nice, it was just way out there. And then I heard from somebody, I think that those type of places are for people who have the families there. They're like not destination spots, if that makes sense. But Discovery Bay may be, sorry about that, may be like a destination spot because you have the water. So it would be good to find out like the where the current residents are coming from. Are they coming locally or are they coming from all over? Because if they're coming all over, you know what I'm saying? Then that's a destination spot.
Definitely.
Then that would be more interesting than if someone local, because we obviously, are serving clients in this area and they want to stay in this area if they have their families in this area. Yeah.
Yeah, and if they want a destination, and if they want either a destination place or stay in this area place, they just certainly are welcome to have the budget for that.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Where are you going to get a $600,000 or $700,000 brand new construction home in a gated community with a gorgeous clubhouse with pickleball and all those amenities for
so I guess
$600,000 or $700,000?
The
Let me add a
idea
comment.
is the
Go ahead,
idea.
Clay.
Yeah. Brentwood might be, Lynn, fit that because they're over the hill to Concord, Walnut Creek,
Pleasant Hill.
yeah, Pleasant Hill and that where families, yeah, you can afford that. Danville even, parts of Danville anyhow, that sort of thing. So that's over the hill. And then you're another hill over to San Francisco and, the opera and all that kind of stuff that, I wonder if it's different or slightly different because I mean, the Silicon Valley, the whole thing is pretty expensive. And here you've not even pockets, but you do have the 680 corridor that when you get further up north is somewhat affordable. And then you have Livermore, and so you might have the family aspect and not too far from the family. You might be it'd be interesting that you get your impression after we go. That'd be because it's a good question.
Yeah, and even for family, because out there in Brentwood and Discovery Bay and the places around it, especially, okay, so there's one development on Bethel Island called Delta Coves. Those are $1.5 million brand new constructions on the water, family, but they also have single level. So they are suitable for a purchase for a senior, just not a senior thing. But because I waited for them, I've been watching them the whole time since they broke ground, and it took them a significant amount of time to start building the single levels. Well, they have them now, and so and that's a higher price point on the water on Bethel Island. Who the heck knows about Bethel Island? Well, I do. I mean, but for us as agents or real estate agents working with families and having these conversations, it's just another home product, another destination that we can have in our cache of our inventory to talk about. And and especially when you're talking to if they'll, I've never heard of Bethel Island, or isn't that a oh yeah, well, let me show you this right now. Who knew? And then there's two other developers that are on the island right now developing. So go where the developers are going. That's what so yeah, go ahead, Mickelin.
Oh, I forgot what to say.
Oh, I just saw you.
Okay. I was going to ask about, and I don't think you answered me, SoCal or Watermark. I don't know if Watermark is in SoCal.
Okay, so Watermark is the senior living communities, and there's a few of them, Almaden and Bascom, and then I don't. There's the one community in SoCal, but it's not a Watermark unless Watermark bought it. The so were they having an event or something?
You remember when we did the open house at the Campbell Community Center? Watermark was one of them, and this place so in SoCal. I kept their information. It started with a P, Porter, Pocal, or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Uh, there's a soap opera going on with that developer. We'll have to go into it later.
I wanted to, Julie, I wanted to share
Yeah.
something that was happening recently, Mark and I, because Mark and I um work all over the country. And we finally got some pretty bold thought leaders from assisted living to start working with us, and talking about the struggles they have with people selling their house, discovering that process. These assisted living are getting a lot more leads, but it more than they ever did before, but they're not getting the conversions. People aren't moving in because they have to get through this process. And would it make sense for them to do this now, do this later? Is it better to stage later? Is this really going to affect your capital gains later? So we're seeing a change on senior living. So we are getting some senior livings that are ramping up to do pilot programs with us. And like, look, if our salespeople can answer these questions and connect you, and sometimes they don't have a real estate agent, right? So that's the good news, good. So we're learning that, and what's kind of helping over that. But I'm just bringing this up because this has been such a hard struggle for us to kind of break through this conceptual bubble, but the need's there. So if you have relationships with assisted living and we can approach that together in some way, where we could help the real estate agents that are trying to develop relationships with assisted living, because a lot of assisted livings will tell you they already have their real estate agent. That was very common, but that's not as common now. So if there's anything that I can do to kind of co-brand or co-market or something with that, if you have a new community that's
Yeah.
either ramping up or getting ready to vamp or struggling another way, anyway, I think that's something that we can start working on together.
Well, this is
That
another
would be,
example where education comes in.
yeah.
If you had some way to educate these people, let them know the process, maybe even like a flow chart of what they got to go through, and then have that associated with a realtor and or
Well,
a brokerage.
that's exactly what we're doing because it's there's such a lack of and trust me, 20 years in the biz, I know this for to be true is I the the ecosystem that is helping these seniors and these families, the senior living and home care, aren't financially literate themselves.
No, they're
So
not.
so so there's I don't know if you guys ever read Sales for Dummies, Selling for Dummies. I did like a long time ago because I'm like, I want to be a salesperson. And the only thing I remember, one like two things I remember, but one of the things I remember is an image of two people, one standing like this. It was just a cartoon, and the other person like this. And they're like, well, the person like this, like they know so much, but the person like standing like this has exudes confidence. And so you can't exude confidence about financial conversations if you don't even know what you're talking about. So these both at the same time, we're working with some home care leaders that are in charge of intake, the phone calls, and also assisted livings that are getting bogged down by because there's multiple leads. There's become a real lead funnel um, ecosystem where we're getting this Tetris thing with leads, and it's really bogging the system down. It's not helping families either.
No.
So
Well, you
so
need to incorporate a financial planner too,
Yeah.
because
well
that
there
goes well beyond what you're doing. And
so
like with Julie's client right now, there's, a process of selling the home, figuring what they're going to get into, how they're going to spend the rest of the money or invest it or whatever. But this goes beyond what real
oh
estate
abs
agents and
there
us. So you need to
there
get a financial planner on the process.
so there's a woman by, and I don't know, I'll connect you with her, Julie. Her name is Sherry Babel, and she started a company, well, it's now called Compass Senior Living Solutions. She was one of the speakers on the summit that we had. And she was in the financial, sorry, she was in the senior living industry for over 20 years. And exactly what Skip is saying, it's like this is the biggest hurdle for families. We also have a different demographic. We're now dealing with the baby boomers that are going in, and we're dealing with the Gen X children, which are total assholes. And but they don't know what they don't, everybody doesn't know what they don't know. And so they have very high expectations about care and what the costs are. And they're like, they have no idea that like 20 years ago, you really got your bang for your buck, and that's over with. It's gone. It's never coming back. So, but that hurdle is there. And so now the Gen X is, it's not so much can we afford this, which is a huge question. The Gen X are going, wait a minute, they're going to sell the house, like that's my inheritance. I was going to get, they, because we're programmed to
Yeah.
think. So this is part
Yeah.
of the problem.
Part of the
So
problem.
part of the problem. So we're talking to these people that are trying to convert these leads, and we're saying is like same thing you guys are saying. You got to kind of, but we're not financial advisors, right? We have a potential solution to start the conversation. Sherry Babel created a whole company based on this. So she, for a fee, has a call center, but she also handles those phone calls after people do tours, right? And do you have VA benefits? Da 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 da. Do you have an agent? Da da da. So we are definitely partners with her, but she's not everywhere. Not everybody wants to pay for that. So Mark and I are like, okay, maybe we should go to some of the leaders we know without trying to be. We don't want all these leads either. We want to get the more focus on do you need an agent? So we've been doing that. So we're making some progress. And so I'm saying if you do have relationships with some communities, like you're trying to organize these tours and things like that, happy to kind of connect with you and these communities and see if we can kind of develop some kind of workflow.
Well, yeah, that's really interesting because right now, and you probably are talking about this because it's manifesting. I'm noticing that the sales and the sales departments, I mean, at the senior living communities. Well, first of all, they don't know who we are or what we do. And when we encounter with them, whether it's at senior roundtable or in with a client, and then we say, well, we're the seniors real estate specialists. This is what we do. And of course, they're not educated about who it is, who that we are, why are we there, what are we doing? We're not placement people. It's a different nut. And they rotate a lot. So
I'll
that
tell you
whole
another thing. It's a very ancestral business, yes.
Yeah.
And also, sometimes you could talk to a really savvy salesperson. Sometimes you could talk to a really uh, um, really innovative executive director. But here's the problem that the senior living home care, especially the companies and the bigger corporations, there are such pressure cookers. You know, a lot of salespeople don't even know that they are having to sell a product in a community that is never going to make it because this, I mean, I know this to be true, is like, well, why are they building in areas that they know that the families are not going to be able to afford that, or they'd have to sell their home? That's like, there's no question about that. That's all their equity. And it's like, well, if they're built, they build these places because the land's cheap and they can build. And then it's just part of a big portfolio and a write-off. And it's like, okay, but they're destroying good salespeople. They're destroying them because they square peg round hole, and the corporate pressure is always to sell, sell, sell. And why aren't you doing this? And then they're firing salespeople because you're not producing. But it's not possible. So I'm looking at this at a very like high level.
Yeah.
How
We
do
need
we
to,
convert? And
yeah,
you're never going to convert these families if they don't have clarity.
right.
So, and then they're like, well, our salespeople don't even understand what you're saying. And it's like, yeah, but they do understand these two questions. And if they understand these questions, and we're giving you the tools, so now we're starting to develop a workflow and a connection, a connectivity. So I wanted to let you know that that's the progress that we're making. And if there's an opportunity for us to co-market in any of these places, because
Oh
there
yeah,
are
we're going
there,
to have to collaborate on that for sure because that's where all of us as a force are going.
yeah.
And that's how the conversation is going and I hear alarming things from the different kinds of communities and here we are as SRES and yeah, we're working to preserve, protect and leverage that real estate asset of that family and to help move forward in their senior living community choices. That's not average everyday realtor stuff. And the people in the sales departments or any senior economy care agencies or whatever that we all talk to, they have no idea. I mean, do they even know how when somebody comes in for I need care or I need to live here, well, how are you going to pay for it? Oh, just call Elder Life. They'll finance you. Is that's about
Well,
all they do?
so Mark and I are getting Elder Life's just been so incumbent for the last 20 something years, but they can't compare to what Mark and I are doing.
I know,
And so
but that's what they
we're
rely on.
but I want to let you know that one of the partners that we're working off is just like we know like this is the relationships at the ivory tower level. And so they know that that's not working. So we're starting to connect with those leaders to go, we got nothing to lose by working with another company that has a palette of more options. So if we could pitch that together and see if, you know, we could develop, because we also have, Mark and I are also selling a lot of rack, they're asking us for rack cards at the communities. We're doing a presentation. Can you send us some rack cards? Can you co-brand? So,
Yeah.
anyway, I don't want to make it about that, but I want to let you know what that's
No,
developing.
that's a good update on stuff that's going on. I mean, you guys, probably we're in all kinds of different locations and we probably have all the similar type of conversations going on. So
Mhm.
that's really good
I
input.
think what the real estate agents would be helpful is, and the way we could partner is, if you like can get to the scene, so the sales and marketing directors and saying, look, I know you have a lot of leads. Let me help you with the conversions. And let me show you how I can do that because we have the
Yeah.
tools to help the family with the financial resources. So,
Okay, and I'll circle back to Mickelin because uh, although I didn't schedule a tour for July, and I started to talk, and I think Brentwood and Discovery Bay for August. But in addition to real estate tours, we are going to implement tours for senior living communities specifically.
mhm.
So we'll do the same process and traipse on over to the watermarks to it's and the Voltari or something like that in SoCal. I mean, just we'll go to these places. We have a colleague that does it in San Diego a lot. And I just love watching her videos because she has a really good system for it, and we're gonna do that. So Mickelin, if you see a community that you would like to visit and that you have some people in your database that might want to participate, let's just do it. So we'll have two tours a month. We'll have for senior living communities, all the different kinds, CCRCs, lease only. We could even do daycares, who cares? Whatever. We sell them a house and then they got daycare. I mean, it's exponential what we could be doing. And then the other would be real estate. And then I do want to expand into new construction family and maybe even luxury. So anyway, okay, we digress. Go ahead, Mickelin.
They're having a new construction seminar, I think it's put on by SCORE on the 28th.
Yeah, we're having one.
Matter of fact, it conflicts with this meeting because it's at 11, live.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm going to have to talk to them. No.
It's a little late.
Well,
Yeah.
since
I know. Nobody told me, so I waited until his mom could pick it up.
All right, everybody.
I'm gonna take the receipt.
Yeah, and his appointment's with
About new
Tony?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were saying something.
Yeah, I was. I was talking to somebody else. My bad.
That's all right.
I forgot.
Okay, everybody.
New construction, Julie.
Go ahead, Mickelin.
New construction
Thank you.
is to be affordable.
Julie, I'm going to reach out to you.
Mickelin, we're in California. What the heck? What
Well,
do you
first it's affordable. I mean, that's what I want to see. How affordable.
You find us affordable in a geography that you think that you like, you let me know and we'll go.
No, I definitely want to go back to Hollister, but the one I'm talking about is going to be the 28th in this community. Our community is going to be live and in person and online, sponsored by SCORE. And it's
Oh
supposed
yeah,
to
the SCORE new construction. Yeah.
everybody should have gotten it. And I would love to go and see what's affordable.
Well, I think they're just having it at the SCORE site, the office.
Yeah. And it's online too. So I signed up for it.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for everything. And we'll see you next week. What are we doing next week?
Oh, come on. Jeez. Okay, I'll climb out from
I
under the
was
table.
just kidding.
All right, sounds good.
I am so excited. We're having Clay present next week. So
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great. All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much. Okay,
right,
everybody
take
have a good week.